This week's show brought to you by Roosters, a fun casual joint. Frank Shoup, Georgetown's big name in cars.
Welcome everybody to the Scott County Cardinals News Graphic Lady Cards Coaches Show. The 23-2 Lady Cards, the top 5 in the Associated Press Kentucky poll Lady Cards, as they have won 13 straight games. Unbelievable. Going into, of course, Tuesday night's game where they hosted Mason County, and then, weather permitting, are scheduled to go to Bryan Station, a game that Mother Nature doesn't seem to want to have played. It's been postponed a couple of times, and that one may be in jeopardy if you look at the weather forecast this week. SC has already wrapped up the top seed in that 42nd district. So things going great for the Lady Cards as they get here into the end of the season. Let's talk about the week that was. They've played a pretty tough schedule. Friday night, this was the fifth different region that Steve Helton has taken the Lady Cards to for a road game this year. They went up a little bit north to play Boone County. He expected it to be a closely officiated game, let's say, and 3 seconds into the game, he was proved correct when they called the foul on Morgan DeFore. Free throw attempts in the game, 36-14 in favor of the home team, but in the important statistic on the scoreboard, Scott County wins 75-48. So as you can see, pretty well dominated that game despite some of the conditions that prevailed. Big third quarter run where they held Boone County to 3 points. Lady Rebels just couldn't get any offense going, which has been the case for a lot of teams against SC. And they put that one away. Big nights for Juliet Smith, her second high point total of the year with 18. And Malaya Williams, her career high, I believe, 16 for her, 7 of 9 shooting. Took care of that one. Another undefeated week. It's been since December that SC has tasted defeat, and another road win. In fact, in true road games, just like true home games this year, Lady Cards are undefeated. They've only suffered their 2 losses in neutral site tournament situations. They'll be at home, as we said, this week on Tuesday, which will probably be gone by the time you see this. They'll also have senior night on Friday night. Let's talk about senior night a little bit. They'll be playing, who are they playing on senior night? Scott High, which will be a challenging game. They've got one of the leading scorers in the state on their roster. It will be a tough situation for Coach Helton. He's got 7 seniors. Only one is in the normal starting lineup. What's he going to do? They're going to draw names out of a hat. He says 5 are going to start that game, and the 2 that do not win in that lottery will start against Oldham County the following Tuesday night in the final game of the regular season. That's also a home contest, so they're going to try to balance it out a little bit. He's promised each of his seniors a start, and that's how Coach Helton is going to do it. As you said, a lot of those seniors are kind of role players on this team. It has been a very young group overall that's seen a lot of the playing time, but those players have been committed to the program for, in some cases, 5-6 years. Really work hard in practice. You see some get in the lineup. Kiana Christopher scored 6 points the other night in short order against Bryan Station. That was the other game last week. SC won that one at home fairly easily. And that was a player that took advantage of some playing time and got in there and did a good job. And that's what you expect out of this group, a lot of maturity from that senior group, and they will be honored later this week. I think that covers the end of the regular season schedule. We talked about next week's game at against Oldham County at home. Then it's the district playoffs, and certainly if you look on paper at the 42nd district and the 11th region, it seems like Scott County is a pretty overwhelming favorite this year, certainly in the district. Nobody has come close. When you look at the region, of course, you think of last year's semifinal loss to Lafayette, and the Generals, Lady Generals, are probably the #1 threat this year. It all depends on when you draw them, whether you'll play them in the semifinals or the finals. But that's one to look forward to. Mark on your calendar down the road as that tournament takes place at EKU in the final week of the month. So we talked to Coach Helton, as always, about the way things have been going. He's typical Coach Helton, cautiously optimistic, but I think very pleased with how things went, the way his team took care of business at home against Bryan Station. And then certainly pleased with how they went up to Boone County and handled, as he likes to say, an adverse situation. He's the first one to tell you that when you go out of the region in Kentucky, you never know what you're going to get, regardless of the records. And that was a classic example. That game was tied after 1 quarter, but SC never showed any panic, never showed any nerves, never looked like they were out of their comfort zone. and pulled off the easy win. Let's see what Coach Helton had to say about the week that was.
Scott County's Tuesday night game versus Mason County was canceled and will not be made up.
Well, first of all, you can't let the girls know how stressful that you are. Very stressful for the coaching staff in this situation. But it's Mother Nature, and we're not going to win that battle. So we've got to stay focused on what we're doing. Our game plan today was Mason County, and very unfortunate that predictions are what they are. On the flip side of that, you can't take a chance. A basketball game, a football game, a baseball game, it's not worth a student athlete or a parent or a grandparent or a coach or official, anyone that something could happen. So it's very unfortunate. The weather is what it is, but it's Kentucky. So it's Kentucky in February, and hopefully we get into, if it was postseason, you would see me a little bit more frantic, trying to figure out what we were going to do. Our kids come in today and had a good shoot around, a lot of hot shot. They're relaxed, and this is a team that needs to stay relaxed. They play better relaxed, and I just wanted to see them. We had a game plan on the board. We had talked about game plan yesterday, and I just wanted to see them and talk to them and say, hey, things work out like this, and we got to move on to Bryan Station, hopefully on Wednesday.
With a win over Bryan Station, Scott County would go undefeated in the 42nd District regular season for the second straight year.
District game, and that's how we're going to approach it. We'll go over scouting report, just like we do any other game, and try. That is a danger point, because when you play a team in less than 7 days, and you had a victory like we did here at home. But we go back to a few years ago when we played Louisville Ballard in Louisville. We went from beating them 30. We played them again in the LIT or one of the tournaments in Louisville, and they beat us 30. So it was a quick change. So we've got to stay focused, and we will. We'll preach focus. They're kids. They look at records. They look at all the message boards. They look at who's talking to who, and. But from a coaching standpoint, we're going to approach it just like we would if it was the first time we played them. It just so happens, it's less than 7 days, or it'll be about 7 days by the time we play them.
Friday's senior night will honor 7 players in their final season as Lady Cards.
It's a night for us to celebrate our 7 seniors, their families, everything they've done for our program, and it's not a goodbye. By any means, it's just a celebration night. And well, Coach, you turn around, you got Oldham County on Tuesday. Well, we want to have a built-in game just in case we did have a weather issue. And so this year, we have 7 seniors, and 5 of those seniors are going to start against Scott High on Friday. And the 2 that don't start, which are going to do a lottery pick, just pick out of a hat, they'll be guaranteed they'll start on Tuesday. So it'll be, again, a celebration. For all the hard work, time, fundraising, hours and hours that we've spent together for them and for their families. But by no means does this close out our season, because we hope to continue on at least for a few more weeks.
Scott County will have a full week to get ready for the district playoffs.
That's where we're at. It does mean that we play on Friday. We'll continue as of now, unless we find a game, we could be looking for some games. We'll come back in on Sunday and have our normal Sunday, Monday practice and get ready for Tuesday. And it'll still be a regular season game for us, but we will make sure though that our seniors are recognized on Friday night and as well on Tuesday night. And once Tuesday night gets there, as of now, the schedule could change. We will begin postseason practice, and that's a lot of team get-together stuff. We'll do some off-the-court stuff together. We do change mode. I mean, from a coaching standpoint, from a preparation standpoint, because you're playing, literally one day at a time. And so once we get past the next few days here, and it's here. I mean, time is. I had on the board today, I had 3 home games and 1 away game. Well, now we're at 2 guaranteed home games, 1 away game, and time is getting away from us.
The Lady Cards kept control of their emotions and took care of Boone County.
Early on, it was, I mean, that first quarter was, what, 15-15, and, you know, Morgan, we laughed and joked about it, but in a sense, it was like, uh-oh. You know, she had her first foul within 3 seconds of the game. I mean, the ball had just been tipped, and she had a foul. And so it kind of threw us off a little bit as far as our rotations, but it gave us a chance also to look at some different groups in there together. You know, I wish I could say going to Boone County was all by design, but in our situation, we're trying to find games, you know, and you know, when word gets out that you have a team that could possibly do some really good things, finding games is tough. And, you know, not everybody is all excited, you know, in line wanting to play. You know, Spurrier always said, you know, if you got a lot of friends out there, that means, well, they're either beating you or they're just as bad as you are. So right now, you know, our scheduling is not always as easy as it has been over the past few years, because, you know, our relevance has picked back up, and you know, kids are doing a great job representing our program. And you know, when you're in that need of games, somebody says we'll play, you just kind of jump on it, and after you make the schedule, you're like, ooh, I'm not sure I should have done that or not. But it did work out for us. Great road win. That beautiful Carolina blue gym. I mean, it was a new gym because we played there in the summer, and that we walked in that gym, and all I seen was Carolina blue, and it was just like, you know, it was like, you know, a God, you know, light coming down. And Coach Tall and I are huge Carolina fans anyway, so we were just, you know, trying to, you know, visualize how we could do our uniforms and put Carolina blue in there, and it didn't work out. But I am just a huge Carolina fan, and she and I, we just laid back and enjoyed just looking around the gym for, you know, at least during the JV game, which was a battle, you know, and Tara's fired up and sweating, and she's coming through the line, and we're just smiling ear to ear, because it's, I mean, Boone County's uniforms were trending baby blue. It was just a really awesome gym.
Coach Helton is enjoying the road trips because he knows his time with a special senior group is nearing an end.
You look back, though, when the season first started, you start thinking about, well, we got to go to Muhlenberg on a Friday. You know, you have to go to Manual on a Thursday, and then in Boone County. We had some tough road trips, and when you looked at that schedule, and then now, it is kind of sad, because you think back, wow, time has gotten away from us. You know, our 7 seniors, you know, how time has gotten away, because, you know, it wasn't that long ago Peyton was going through fast break camp. It wasn't that long ago, you know, all those kids, you know, we watched grow up. You know, Zeffie, this is her first year with us, but it's like she's been with us for her entire, you know, we don't have seniors have 4-year careers. Our seniors have 6-year careers. And it's like she's been here with us for 6 years. And so, you know, it's an emotional standpoint from a coaching, because you look at those kids and think about, wow, we've been on the road a lot this year. You know, the whole month of January, except for Toyota Classic, that's tough on them. It's tough on those parents who've traveled with us. So definitely glad to be done, yes, but a little bit emotional as well. And anytime you have the success we've had on the road this year, we got a lot of success on the road, true road games. I mean, adverse situations. You know, we get through Bryan Station, that's going to be, you know, one of the better records we've had on the road in a long time. And so very emotional there. And, you know, same time we want to protect our home court and hopefully do the same thing here in the next 2 to 3, hopefully 2 to 3 home games we get left out.
All right, that was Coach Helton as he prepares this team for the run at the end of the season. Everything is geared toward what's coming up. These final 4 or 5 games leading up to the district tournament, which will be played at Frederick Douglass this year, and then on to the 11th region, where Scott County looking to make a run and get to the Sweet 16. It's been 8 years, and this team has put together the longest winning streak since that team. This team has the most wins in the regular season since that team, so I believe so anyway. They're closing in on that mark rapidly, and it's a team that appears prepared and appears built for that point in the season. We shall see how it goes. Talk to players. As we mentioned, a lot of unsung heroes on this team, but 4 players in double figures the other night against Bull County just shows you how difficult it's going to be to defend the Lady Cards in the playoff. So let's see what our Lady Cards had to say about the week that was and the games to come.
Kaylee Wise is part of the Lady Cards' impressive freshman class.
In the beginning, I like to think of myself as a decent defensive threat, but I'm really here for whatever the team needs. So whatever they want, I want to be whatever they need.
Kaylee is one of the few two-sport athletes on the team. She also plays softball.
It's difficult at times because towards around this time of year they overlap, but it's really great. I mean, you get to work on different parts of your body during the year, and it really keeps me in shape, and I love always being busy and having stuff to do.
The players don't see much need to change the approach that has produced 13 consecutive wins.
We really just need to be able to work together and keep playing our offense and defense. I think as long as we stay together and go hard every game and never get down, we'll be able to go far.
We just need to keep playing as a team and doing what we've been doing, playing defense, running our offense, and just working together honestly. We can't back down because anyone could beat us at one point in time, and our season could end at any given time.
Boone County was the Lady Cards' slowest start in a while, but they roared back for a big win.
I think the biggest challenge was having Morgan get a technical at the beginning of the game. That kind of threw everybody off, but after we got our groove back, we worked together more as a team, and we were able to get up by 30 or however much we got up by. And I think offense worked really well that game.
The Mason County cancellation makes this a less grueling week for SC.
Yeah, that's really hard. We want to keep make our offenses fresh and our defenses, but it's also nice to have kind of an off day, just to get mentally prepared and take a break and just get a break from all the stress.
We've basically come in on days that we've had off for practice, staying fresh with our plays and everything, getting shots up, going through defense, making sure we're fresh on everything.
Emma will play her final 2 home games for Scott County against Scott High and Oldham County.
It's unreal, honestly. I can't believe I'm a senior, and with Zakiah and Lexi and anyone else, it's just surreal that it's finally here.